Hello, friends. Welcome to the Career Guru Podcast. I am your host, Steve Yanovsky. What a glorious day it is to start your path on a new career. Doors are opening here at the Boston Career Institute even as we speak. And I'm here holding the key for you. So tune in, stay sharp, and enjoy yourself. This is going to be great. Hashtag Let's Career Up.
Greetings, my friends, conversationalists, thrill seekers, career gurus, aspiring career gurus, all across the fruited plain. It is I, Steve Yanovsky, your career guru, coming back to you with the latest installment of the Career Guru Podcast. I was planning to build on my previous ideas of moving on from toxic environments and so on and so forth. Yeah, all that wonderful stuff. And it was great. And I was all prepared and had my notes ready, got everything, got my 10 bullet points ready to go. And then I was talking to a good friend of mine, and a good friend of mine just got his 2-week notice, and he's going to be losing his job. Oh boy. Well, let's talk about that. And we will return to exiting the toxic environment. And let's talk about opportunities and bouncing back from bad news. All right? And so, Career Guru had been canned on more than one occasion in my glorious and illustrious career, or various career paths. I had been beaten down and stabbed so many times, I feel like Julius Caesar in a park performance. For those of you who can understand what this is, but, well, what the heck. Julius Caesar was stabbed in the back by his close associates. In any case, what I want to talk to you about today is bad news. Friends, there's really no such thing. Everything is our own personal perception. Okay, everything is good news. The universe is good. God is good. There's nothing but God and there's nothing but goodness that abounds this universe. All you have to be is ready to accept it. So let's talk about being fired and how you bounce back. I want to mention a couple of things here. The first thing I want to talk to you is, why is it that being fired or being let go or losing a job is a good thing? Well, and especially if you had a good job, a really good job, you were so comfortable. It was so wonderful. You got paid, you had enough money for food, for shelter, some vacation here and there. It was good. But was it great? And at the end of the day, you'll look back and say, gee, well, maybe it wasn't great, but it was good. Good is the greatest enemy of great because we are comfortable, we are complacent, we're happy with our lot, and being happy with one's lot is great. Who is happy? He who's happy with his lot. Yes, I understand that. The ancient wisdom is wonderful. But there is nothing wrong with being able to step out of your comfort zone. And sometimes the universe and the forces, the universal forces that propel us forward, do the work for us and say, you know what, that guy needs a swift kick in the you-know-what in order to reach even greater heights. That means you're there ready to go to accomplish even greater things, to make even more money, to be even more charitable. Okay? So, first and foremost, flip your thinking. Flip your thinking. This is not bad news. You got fired, celebrate. That's the first thing that you ought to do. Have a party, because it's not an end to something. It is a beginning of your new journey, a new journey that's going to be more emotionally stimulating, professionally stimulating, and financially stimulating. Don't forget that this is the case. And remember what I just said. Good is the greatest enemy of great, because everything must be great. You always have to strive for great. And we forget that. Large companies forget that. Books are written on how to go from good to great. because oftentimes you have these wonderful expectations, but you just don't know what to do and how to get them. Well, here's your opportunity. Now, most important aspect of winning after a quote-unquote loss, after bad news, is making sure that you don't slip into the funk of the dark side. You know, there's a, come, Luke, join me in the dark side. Yeah, no. We don't want to go to the dark side. And I love the t-shirt that says, come to the dark side, we have cookies, right? They don't have any cookies in the dark side. And I know that I broached this topic before, that being in a state of darkness and funk is the body's natural tendency. It is very easy to be beat down. It takes no effort to be beat down, but it takes a lot of power to be upbeat. You can't just expect happiness and success to fall upon you. You got to do something about it. So that means you got to come out of your comfort zone and push yourself forward. Good to great means that you need to come out of your comfort zone and propel yourself where you haven't been before. All of these things are ready and available for you. Only you open yourself up to the opportunity. If you are beat down, if you're in a desperate funk, you are in a closed up position. That means you are not receptive to good things. You're receptive only to dark things, to negativity. And now you need to push the darkness away and you need to step into the light. And oftentimes you got to be the light yourself. You know, darkness has no power. Darkness simply is the absence of light. When you are in a completely and totally dark room, or even outside, it's a dark night. No stars are visible, no moon, it's dark. You light a match and all of a sudden, the entire place you're in lights up like there's no tomorrow from a single match. And as they say, a little bit of light can dispel a lot of darkness. So move yourself into the light. Shine the light yourself and the darkness goes away. Not only does it go away, but it goes away willingly because it has no power and it has no power over you. Accept this as an opportunity and an opportunity will present itself immediately. Just shine the light. So as I told my friend, to step out of the darkness, first and foremost, you have to celebrate your upcoming success, even before it happened. So as not to step into the darkness and be closed to opportunities, step into the light. Open yourself up with humility to people in your network and expand your network. Let people know where you are and what you're looking for. And don't be afraid to ask for more money. Remember, the answer is always no unless you ask. The answer is always no unless you ask, right? You ask and it may be a no, but it may be a yes. So, but if you don't ask, there's always going to be a no. It's always a no, right? So reach out to all your friends. Reach out to all your neighbors, people you know, people you think you know, people who your neighbors know. Let people know. And now it's time for you to sit down and revamp your resume. Do the best possible job and involve other people who can help you organize it and put it together. Perhaps just talking about what you did in the past and maybe couple it with what you think you ought to do or what you think you should be doing will change the way your resume looks. And when you change the way your resume looks, you change your mind along the way. Your mind begins to get into that zone of looking for a job, looking for new opportunities. When you are looking and other people are looking, at some point in time, you will cross paths. You will cross paths and you will succeed. It just takes one success. Yes, there will be 100 no's, but you only need one yes. But you have to be open for it and you have to be receptive to it. And you can say, hey, I'm willing to step out of the box and try something new. Okay? There many things from our past that plague us. Maybe we've had a negative experience trying to look for a new job way back when. At some point in time, very rarely do people not receive some degree of bad news from somewhere. A lot of times some things happen and it's the end of the world. And it turns out later that it's not the end of the world. It was the greatest opportunity. For me, it was 100% that way. I have lost jobs for which I worked very hard to get, very hard. And I had lost them. Sometimes to a fault of my own, sometimes not through a fault of my own. But every time, the universal forces that led Career Guru to his success always closed, while closing one door, opened the next door. And it has always been a more successful transition prior to my being let go from previous positions. As long as you don't fail to internalize and understand what had transpired. I hope I'm making sense. I hope this works. But the takeaway is, don't despair. Step away from the darkness, turn away from darkness, walk towards the light. You will succeed. I know that sounds, all spiritual, but everything in this world is spiritual and it exhibits through physicality, but who cares? It is what it is. Attract goodness, attract positivity. You will succeed. You will succeed. Sometimes we leave our jobs. Sometimes we, get comfortable in toxic environments. There we go again, talking about it. But the fact of the matter is, when someone is pointing the way towards the light, and it's not even you got let go, or you went somewhere, you're going, and you're going to a better place. So walk towards the light. Time to also reconsider the possibilities that you may need to revamp your skill sets. Yeah, it's possible. And in today's environment, in the United States, for instance, there's always an opportunity to expand your knowledge base through unemployment. You became suddenly unemployed. Yes, we have a great safety network for which you paid for out of your paycheck every week, every 2 weeks, every month. They took out taxes towards your unemployment. It's your money. Apply for it. Don't panic. You're not going to lose, your home. You're not going to miss a meal. There's a lot of opportunities we have in the United States with safety networks that we have established through our employer collected taxes. Apply. Apply. And there's no stigma attached to it. Go ahead. Apply. And it'll take the burden off. You say, what am I going to do when my paychecks stop coming? Well, guess what? You've applied for unemployment. Unemployment will come through and you'll get that done. I'm not saying that you may not even be able to collect a single paycheck, because in the next couple of weeks, you will probably score a new job and you'll get paid. But the safety nets are available, whether it is for unemployment, whether it is through Department of Transitional Assistance, with the SNAP benefits and your health insurance and so on and so forth. Everything is going to be made available to you in the time that you're looking, including and not limited to a possibility of taking some courses through workforce development programs. They do exist. There are many opportunities that you could take advantage of, and I suggest that you do. Some episodes back, we had representatives from one such organization called Mass Hire, and they talked to people about the programs that they have. They still have them. And more are coming. So don't be afraid. The safety net is there. And don't forget your friends and relatives. Again, expand your network and branch out. But as you do that, make sure that you approach the right kind of a person. Make sure that you approach the individuals with a positive attitude. Again, walking towards light and away from darkness. Walk away from darkness and towards light, and you will find the right people. Find successful people who can mentor you, give you solid advice, not your detractors who will tell you, oh, you can't get ahead in life. Oh, you can't get ahead in today's marketplace. Oh, you're too old, or you're too young, or you don't have experience. It's rarely about that. It's usually all about you and your positive attitude. A couple of weeks ago, I had one of my students who came to my office, and she was obviously deeply and profoundly preoccupied. She was looking for a job, and she came to me, for interview tips and how to apply for a job and what to say, what not to say. So I spent some time with her, but I couldn't get over the feeling of how deeply uncomfortable she was. She was physically uncomfortable while sitting here with me. And I asked her, what exactly is happening? And she turned out that she was plagued with all sorts of personal issues that she couldn't get from under. And I said to her, you cannot apply for a job looking the way you do. People cannot handle the amount of angst that you're projecting. You need to be able to let it go and put a smile on your face. Neuroscientists have already proven that a person who smiles, actually just a simple act of smiling, putting a smile on your face, will generate all sorts of interesting chemicals in your brain that provide you with an oomph to your happiness factor. There's all sorts of things that happen physiologically to a human being once they smile, once they laugh. Give yourself a chance and smile, even if it's a fake smile. Fake smiles work just fine. Smile. Celebrate your newfound freedom to achieve great things away from complacency and the good. I mean, good is good, but it's not great. We got to go from good to great. And a lot of times, like I said, you need a good kick in the pants in order to get yourself to where you ought to be, where it's great. How many times did I say that? And I said it from personal experience. And I was younger and I was a little bit more foolish, and I didn't understand what opportunities are out there. But there are so many. As long as you just get out of your comfort zone, as long as you expand your circle of friends and acquaintances who can help, positive people, successful people, they will always give you the guidance. And remember, it's always a no unless you ask. Ask everyone, ask everything, have a positive attitude, and be ready to go. Remember, if you couldn't go from one place to another, now you have no choice. Now it's your time to shine. It's either sink or swim. In this particular case, not only can you swim, but you can become an Olympic gold medalist in swimming because you're swimming towards new success. All right. And on that note, my dear friends, if you are in this predicament and you're within the reach of my voice, take it to heart and make it work for you. Remember, resistance to success builds success muscle. We talked about that just a little while ago. But this right here, that is a true blessing. One day after another will yield most amazing opportunities for you if only you're open to receive them. Don't hide in a corner, cowering in the darkness. Step away, turn away from darkness towards the light, and remember, darkness has no power over you. It has no power. It's just an absence of light. And once you introduce the light into the picture, the darkness is gone. And on that note, my friends, I wish you all God bless. May the force be with you. Talk to you soon. Career Guru signing off.
Well, friends and aspiring career gurus, this was fun. Thank you for tuning in. I feel enlightened, I feel empowered, and I'm feeling grateful that we spend time with you. For more information about Boston Career Institute, please visit our website, bostoncareer.org. Boston Career Institute has 3 campuses located in Brookline, Massachusetts, Malden, Massachusetts, and Lowell, Massachusetts. Call our toll-free number 888-383-6058. For questions, comments, and or information about our podcast, email me at thecareerguru@bostoncareer.org. The Career Guru podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our website, bostoncareer.org, or wherever you stream your podcast. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your rating and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by PodPro Entertainment, the Career Guru lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. Hashtag the new radio. Looking forward to seeing you soon. All the best to you. My name is Steve Yanovsky. I am the Career Guru. May God bless you. Hashtag let's career up.